Initiation into astrology. There are many levels, and most of the people are thinking that astrology is about the sign. I'm a Scorpio, I'm Aquarius. So today we will discuss how the serious astrology look. So we will go from the pop astrology to the traditional astrology level by level based on one of my Instagram posts about the triangle of initiation. So let's dive right into this video. If you are brand new here, my name is rgendarz and this channel is all about Vedic astrology in the tradition of Shri Achyutananda with the analytical, example and research-based approach. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up, subscribe, and now let's dive right into this video. Okay, so the first one would be the sun sign based and the numerology. So maybe you don't know that the signs we are talking about, like I'm Scorpio or you are Aquarius, these are the sun signs. So we have the zodiac, and based on the position of the sun from a geocentric point of view, you are in a certain sign. So this whole astrology then is only restricted to that one sign, so we can then divide the whole world population to these 12 groups. So as you can see, there is not much room to play around when it comes to reading of what can happen to you, or even the psychological description is quite simplified. So I would say this is a nice entry point, I think, for everyone, because this is the first contact we usually have with astrology when we are exposed to it through the newspapers, friends, or some books. So there are signs, and we know that we are some sign, right, based on this cultural or conventional knowledge. And then this is our first step. I would say that also the numerology is here, because just like the sign restricted astrology is also to this one type of category. You are some number. I'm 1, for example. So this is about the sun. Can I really appreciate my whole personality by this simplification to the number 1? I don't think so. I would even say that I don't feel that I'm depicting that number 1, that sun energy. So there are so many nuances in the chart if you are dwelling into the real serious astrology, that the simplification then after some time is less and less attractive and appealing. So now let's go into the second stage. So the second stage of initiation, this is interesting that the initiation, the word, is also about getting a mantra from a teacher, spiritual master, and also the level of hermetics, gnosis, being engaged, being in that secret layers of knowledge. Perhaps you know the word ascendant. So when people are going there, they are now finding out that there is not only the sun sign, but there is also the ascendant sign. And some books are telling you that this ascendant sign is even more important, because it's not only depending on the day of the month or the month, but it's also much more sensitive to your birth time, because it's depending on the hour in which you were born. So now this becomes more accurate, and therefore people are also saying that in better way it is depicting your personality. So then we have this sun moon ascendant, I would say, or nakshatra astrology. It's also here pop Instagram astrology, which is reducing the astrology to psychology or coaching, because now we have some more room, more data to work with. We have this distinction between this mind, which is the moon, and also our intelligence, which is the ascendant. So there is some part of our awareness, something more subconscious. So now we have some incentive to delve more into this complex personality. So as we can expect, the psychology approach is appealing here. So this level is nice because it's making us aware that there is not only the sun sign, but there is also the moon maybe there. So we have another object, and also the ascendant, which is the first house. This is the sign when we will put that line through the horizon. So that sign which the line will meet will be our ascendant. So then we have more data to play with. And also I have written here the nakshatra astrology because it's also very much related to psychology, because it's nakshatra of the moon, which people are talking mostly when they say nakshatra. It is the Janma nakshatra or Janmatara, as they say. And so there is a lot of connection to this psychology, so to this level. So that would be the second stage. Okay, so the first one was about the position of the sun. So we are saying I'm a Scorpio, you are Aquarius, so we are on that level. We are then going into the description of the sun. Oh, the Aquarius is the Aries sign and loaded by Saturn. So we are trying to mix those interpretation related to the symbols of Aries sign and the Saturn, what the Saturn means. Oh, I'm like Saturn, I'm like Aries signs. And then we are also adding that this, for example, Aquarius is the fixed sign. So I have the characteristics of a fixed sign, of Aries sign, and of Saturn. This is how we can understand the nature of the signs. And it's true, but it's nevertheless very basic. First, the third stage. This is about the houses. So now, since we know there's the moon, the sun, and we know that there is the ascendant, and then we read, this is the first house, so maybe there are more houses. And just like there are 12 signs, we also have 12 houses. So now we get to know that houses are showing areas of life. So now it's not only about me, my personality, my description of myself, but then we also have others, which is the 7th house. We have the 4th house, which is our home, when we feel secure. Our mind is there, our mother. And the 10th house is all about the work. We have the future and also people which are coming after us. The 5th house, we have the past, which is the 9th house. Also the karma of the past lives. This is all the 9th house. So now it's not so much egocentric. It's still egocentric, but not so much, because now we have awareness of all these environment around us. So also on this level, we are now getting into the timing, because if there are areas of life, then something can happen. Something can happen to me from some external sources to me, and when I know which area is activated and in what time, then I can make a prediction, I can make the timing. So now the Vimshotri Dasha, which is the most popular system, and it's also the most important Dasha according to Parashara Muni, which is the author of the Brihad Parashara Hora Shastra, the most popular astrological text. So now the remedies, which are the ways in which we can help ourselves with our karma. So we have our life, our karma, this is our chart. So there are ways to help ourselves. One of that way is through gems. So by wearing specific gems, stones, we are activating or amplifying whatever good is in our chart. So if we have any protective or nice planet in the chart, then if it works, it would be logical to associate myself with such energies in whatever form available. So one form given by the rishis or the authors is the gems. There are others, there are colors, there are foods. So you can increase those nice planets in your life through any type of association, but the gem seems like a concentrated energy in that specific material. So then some astrologers on this level, they are very much into that gem. So they may have some jewelry business, they may sell the gem, so the whole reading of the chart is then restricted to finding a problem, giving a gem, and that's it. So that is the third level. So now on the next level, on the fourth one, we have now initiation into the Navamsha. So now on this level we are aware that there is additional chart. So we have one chart, the main chart, which is a Rashi. This is showing the manifestation of things, how I am experiencing them, how the things are touching my skin. So this is very physical, very resources based chart. Then we also have the Navamsha, which is much more deep, much more heavy, because it shows the karma of the past lives. So on this level, astrologers are reducing the reading of the Navamsha and even the Varga charts, which are 16 additional charts which are depicting the specific area of life. So now we have the chart for career, now we have a chart for children, we have chart for education, spirituality, and so on. So on this level, astrologers are just seeing how the planet is placed in this Vargas. Is it exalted? Is it debilitated? Is it in the same sign? And based on this, they are counting the final strength of the planet. So they are reducing the whole Varga chart just to read the strength of the planet. So there is this level of astrology. So mainly they are using the Rashi and Navamsha, but at least we are aware that the Rashi is not the only chart. There are other charts. So as you can see, the higher we go, in these levels of initiation, this becomes more complex, and therefore also in the better way is depicting the reality, which is also very complex. So now we are going to the last level. This is the traditional astrology. This is what you get when you are learning from the bona fide parampara for the school, or a teacher who has also learned this in circumstances of such parampara. Parampara is that the teacher is giving the knowledge to the student becomes a teacher. So this is generation by generation. The knowledge is coming from some top source, top esoteric source, metaphysical source, and is coming down to the lucky souls to get it. So we are now not only treating these Varga charts, these additional charts for strengths, but we are seeing them as independent charts with also the 12 houses. So now this becomes very complex because we have the Rasi chart, the main one, 12 houses, areas of life, general areas of life, but we have also the, for example, the Shamsa, which is the career life chart, and then we have also 12 houses which are restricted to the meaning of your environment in your office. So you have, for example, 4th house, which is your secretary. You have a 7th house, which are your partners or clients. You have the 9th house, which is your boss. You have the 10th house, which is the board or the company. You have the 3rd house, which is about your agreements and deals in the work. So it's the meaning of the houses, but they are restricted to that specific area of life, like work, finances, children, and so on. And this is great because this can allow us to make much more precise prediction, both in description and timing. So now this becomes very useful. Then we are learning also about Nadi Jyotish. So we are getting into more deep understanding how things works. For example, we are learning from the Nadis that there is the Sadeshati, which should be analyzed from the moon in the Navamsha, not from the moon in the Rashi. So we get the very similar rules, but much more detailed. There are a lot of nuances in those Nadi scriptures. We are also getting much more dashas. The dasha is the timing system. So as I said, the most popular is the Vimshotri dasha. But on the 5th level, we also get to know that they are the Rasi dasha. So there are people who are very much using the Chara dasha. There are others like our school who is using a lot of Narayana dasha. So there are additional dashas which can help you to time things. So there are multiple ways to time things to know in which period I am, which planet are activated in current moment of my life. Am I under Saturn? Am I under Jupiter? And also a sign-wise, which sign is working for me right now? And this is very useful because if you know which sign is working, then you know which things in your life will get activated based on your chart. Because in that chart, you can look which planets are there, which house this is for you, and then by understanding the symbolism, you can understand what's going on in your life. Then we are also initiated or exposed to multiple levels of reading of the chart. So we are not only reading the chart from the Ascendant, from the Lagna, but we can also count the houses from other points. We can count the houses from Venus, and there are also points which are called Arudhas. They are showing how the houses are manifested in a tangible way in which we can measure them. There are also the Varnadas, the Visheshas, and so on. So we have multiple perspectives through which we can judge what's going on in a more precise way. And also because now we have those levels, now we have these Vargas, our remedies will be much more accurate too, because they will not only be restricted to some gems, but now we can go into mantras, which are related to a specific devatas, to our specific personification of those energies in our chart. And then these personifications may have different rupa or the mood. So based on the position of the planets in your chart, we can approach Shiva or Vishnu in various ways or moods depending on the position of these planets. So we can choose the various forms of Shiva, various forms of Vishnu, and not only that, also based on the house of these planets, we can choose the mantras, which are the specific sound formulas based on the specific number of syllables which are related to this house. For example, you have a problem in the 10th house and Rudra or Shiva is helping you, then you can use the mantra with the 10 syllables like Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. So this is Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. This is 10 syllables, and then this energy is also activated that specific house. So now we can be more accurate and therefore also more effective. So these are these 5 stages of initiation into this Vedic knowledge, this Vedanga of Jyotisha or Vedic astrology. So I hope this makes you a little bit more aware how Vedic astrology is serious and complex. I hope also I raised the curiosity about this nice subject. If you like me to help you to read your chart, please just hit me up with the email below. Please don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and see you in the next one.